Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte distances himself from the drug list that includes slain Los Baños, Laguna Mayor Cesar Perez. In a speech Monday night, December 7, Duterte says it was not him but law enforcers who placed the local chief's name there. On March 14, 2019, Duterte publicly read out a list of 44 so-called narco-politicians he claims to have been involved in drug trafficking. Perez was on the list. Perez's family insists the mayor was not involved in illegal drugs and even went to the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency to clear his name. The mayor was shot dead inside the Los Baños Municipal Hall by unidentified suspects on December 3. In a statement on Tuesday, December 8, Human Rights Watch Deputy Asia Director Phil Robertson says Duterte has used the list as a public political prop. He says for Duterte to now claim that he had no hand in these lists is the height of hypocrisy. Robertson adds, it is not only disingenuous, it is cowardly. In related news, Karapatan Secretary General Cristina Palabay criticizes the government's Human Rights Summit, calling it nothing more than a farce and desperate charade to cover the culture of impunity. Fisherfolk Group Mamalakaya National Chairperson Fernando Hicap also says that, quote, human rights abuser-in-chief Duterte and his government have no moral ascendancy to talk about human rights. Rappler CEO Maria Ressa is among 2020's Bloomberg 50, the international media company's annual list of individuals who helped define the year that was. A Bloomberg profile released Monday, December 7 says Ressa has carried on despite what journalism advocates say is a campaign of official intimidation. Ressa faces several tax cases and was recently charged with a second cyber libel case. The latest case was filed by businessman Wilfredo Keng, the same one who filed the first cyber libel case, over a tweet of a screenshot of a 2002 Philstar.com article linking Keng to an alleged murder. In June this year, Keng got Ressa and former researcher Reynaldo Santos Jr. convicted of cyber libel. Meantime, the Court of Tax Appeals or CTA says Ressa's cyber libel conviction in June is not enough reason to bar her from leaving the country. The tax court emphasizes Ressa's constitutional right to travel. Ressa earlier filed a motion against a Pasig court for alleged grave abuse of discretion over a July order that appeared to ban Ressa from traveling while the case was pending before her sala. The Court of Appeals also denied Ressa's motion to travel, citing her conviction as a reason that warrants the exercise of greater caution in allowing a person admitted to bail from leaving the Philippines. It also said that travel was not urgent. But tax justices say Ressa's conviction in the cyber libel case alone is not sufficient justification for the quo to prevent her from attending to her professional engagements outside the country. The CTA says there should be no fear that Ressa would decide to stay longer because of the lockdowns. In discussing this new normal, the CTA says even if the journalist is stuck abroad because of the lockdown, a virtual trial can still proceed. Ressa emphasized that she has adhered to all court processes and has appeared in all courts to prove her arrival. Senator Laila de Lima cries foul over the Justice Department or DOJ's move to file a contempt petition against her and her lawyer Bonnie Tacardon. On December 4, the DOJ formally moved to cite de Lima and Tacardon in contempt for allegedly violating the sub judice rule. The sub judice rule prohibits parties in a trial from commenting on and disclosing the details of pending cases to the public to avoid prejudgment or trial by publicity. De Lima claims in a statement on Tuesday, December 8, the DOJ wants to silence her camp by preventing it from sharing with the public developments in her trial for illegal drug charges. She says the move wants to hide from the world the fabrication and manufacturing of evidence and testimony used to convict the innocent. De Lima claims Duterte spread lies about her alleged drug links and repeatedly prejudged her guilt in public. The DOJ's petition to cite Tacardon and De Lima in contempt is because of statements they made to the media about the progress of the senator's trial for illegal drug charges. In the petition, the DOJ accuses Tacardon and De Lima of spreading misinformation. Local and international groups call for De Lima's release, saying her cases are a form of political persecution for her investigation of Duterte's war on drugs and extrajudicial killings. Britain on Tuesday, December 8, begins the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine produced by Pfizer BioNTech. 90-year-old Margaret Keenan is the first person to receive the COVID-19 vaccine at a hospital in Coventry, Central England, a historic inoculation as the world grapples with a deadly disease. Keenan, who turns 91 next week, says she feels so privileged to be the first person vaccinated against COVID-19. The first in line to get the vaccine on what has been dubbed V-Day are the over 80s, care home workers and at-risk frontline health and social care staff. They will require a second inoculation in 21 days. Last week, Britain became the first country to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. US President Donald Trump may be banned from Twitter after January 20, 2021, unless he behaves. In a Forbes report Thursday, December 3, a Twitter spokesperson says Trump's tweets could eventually lead to his ban from his social media platform of choice once he loses his presidential status. The world leader's policy effectively shields Trump, allowing him to post conspiracy theories or other untruths about the integrity of the US elections or about his opponents, political or personal. At the very least, it seems Trump may also have to contend with losing influence, as his follower count consistently dropped in recent weeks. Another Forbes report says Trump has had at least 220,000 unfollows over the past few weeks. While he will still be able to use his personal account, he will lose access to presidential social media accounts as well. The @POTUS Twitter account will be handed over to President-elect Joe Biden on Inauguration Day. Meanwhile, US media reports Biden picks Lloyd Austin to be the first African-American Secretary of Defense. CNN, Politico, and the New York Times cite unnamed sources familiar with the decision after Biden said earlier Monday he made his choice and would announce it on Friday. Austin led US troops into Baghdad in 2003 and rose to head the US Central Command. This comes as Biden faces pressure to nominate more minorities for positions in his cabinet.